Alright, Kevin here with myATVs.com. What we're going to show you now is how to assemble your 110 Mini Telltale ATV. I've already got it all uncrated. You can see that on our uncrating video. The first thing that we're going to do is go ahead and install the steering wheel, or your handlebars, on the front of the unit. In order to do that, you need your Allen wrench. You've already got your headlight here. That's going to set on top here. And you need the brackets and bolts that come into your box when you get your four-wheeler. It's going to be 4 bolts with the Allen wrenches on top. Your top handlebar covers and your lower handlebar covers. So I'm going to take my top handlebar covers with the bolts already slid through them. Make sure I get some Loctite on them. And I want to set the front headlight assembly, line it up with my 4 bolts, take my bottom plate, set it on, take my handlebars, and set them on. It can be a little bit of a pain in the butt lining this stuff up. Then I'll make sure, put my top end on. Make sure it goes through the bottom plates. Make sure it goes through my headlight assembly. Then make sure it goes through my steering column plate on the four-wheeler itself. Take your Allen wrench and just tighten it up just a little bit to get them started. Do that on the front and the back. Then I'm going to go ahead and put my other side on. Bottom plate underneath of the steering bars, top plate on top. I didn't tighten those up so I could move this steering column around a little bit. I'll straighten that out some. Get my holes lined up. Just tighten them down just a little bit just to get the screw started. On the back side. Alright, now once I have those all started, that's where I'm going to go ahead and straighten up my handlebars, make sure they're centered, and then make sure they're adjusted this way where you want them at. And then I go ahead and start tightening these 4 screws down. Alright, so now my handlebars are on there. They're good and snug. You can always leave them a little bit loose, that way whenever whoever's going to be riding it can sit on there, adjust these up and down, and just tighten those 4 back down again. Our next step is installing the wheels. Your tread pattern, the V's are going to point forward on the scooter. So I know by looking at this, this one's for my left side. I'm going to grab my right side. It's got the place to insert the drum brake here. Valve stem's on the outside, and my V's are pointed forward. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on the front here. Remove the cotter pin. Take the screw off. Take the washer off. Slide this off so I can show you. Dave, can you come around here on this side, Sean? Now your drum brakes, an important part on these is when you go to put this wheel on, make sure this little slot here is lined up on this little piece of metal here. That's what keeps that brake from moving around. So while it's slid on, I'm just going to double check, make sure it's lined up. Go ahead and push it all the way on. Then I can take my front wheel assembly, put it over the axle. Slide it on. Put my washer on. Get some Loctite. Make sure you put Loctite on this stuff. Now if you notice, let me take this off one more time. There's a bushing here on the inside of this wheel. I'm showing you that because on the front wheels, you don't want to over tighten them. You can snug them up good, you can snug them up with a wrench. Grab a wrench here. Hit it a couple times here to tighten it up. Alright, I got it good and snug. Make sure you stop it so you can get your quarter pin in. Put your quarter pin in. Bend it over. And that front wheel's done. Now we'll move back to the back wheel. Again, I have my back wheel here. It's got a little spleen in it here. That'll slide right on this sleeve. And again, just make sure your V's are pointed to the front. Valve stem's on the outside. Remove my quarter pin. My nut. Washer. Go ahead and slide this on. Okay. Washer. Loctite, and your nut. Now snug it down good. Put my quarter pin in. Bend it over, and that side's done. And I'll just repeat the same process on the other side. Alright, now our last step is we're going to go ahead and install the rear rack. The bolts aren't in your bag when you get your bag. They're going to actually be in the back of the four-wheeler, so you need to remove those. So we'll remove these 4 bolts. There's 4 bolts taken out. We'll grab our rear rack. Set it on. And you don't want to tighten these bolts down until you actually get them all 4 started. It's a 10mm ratchet. Just start that one a little bit, go through and start them all. Alright, I've got them all started. I'm going to go through and just tighten them down now. Alright, I've got the back rack on. Now this four-wheeler is completely assembled, ready to be prepped. You can check out our video on prepping your ATV before you ride. But this one is completely assembled, and this is the Tao Tao Mini 110.